Well, thank you all. Thank you for, thanks Brand Innovators. Thank you ITV for hosting us. Thank all of you for being here. The sun actually came out, so you've sacrificed a little bit of sun time to spend with us, so thank you very much for that. I can't speak as fast as Craig. I'm from Ohio. I've been in this country 27 years. I still can't do it, trying to. But I've got Kerry with me. It's great to have her here. SVP, Global Head of Digital Marketing and MarTech, which is interesting, at Mastercard. Also the Global Co-Lead for Adaptability, Mastercard's Disability Inclusion Business Resource Group. She's been with Mastercard for 11 years, and previous to that, she was at the agency side, Universal McCann and others, where she worked on Mondelez, Microsoft, Blueberry, Burberry, and Mastercard itself. So now we know how you got to Mastercard in the end. So great to have you here, Kerry. Let's start off with your role at Mastercard. You've probably seen quite a few things over the course of the 11 years. There's been a lot of different trends. This industry, every year we go through another trend. Metaverse last year, AI this year. Some are real, some not so real. Any insights into how digital innovation has transformed the marketing strategies within the financial services industry and Mastercard?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Is this mic on? Yeah. So I think there's been multiple things transforming the space, but I'm just going to sort of focus in on some sort of tech drivers. You mentioned AI, obviously the buzzword of the year last year. We're sort of really focusing on the sort of creative side of AI and what that really can open up. And I'm going to talk a bit more about that, share some examples in a bit to sort of demonstrate more where that driver is really sort of going. Another key one for me is the immersive experiences that we are going to see really sort of erupt and disrupt when it comes to spatial computing and XR. I don't know where you sit, Norm, on this, but I think the launch of the Apple Vision Pro is really going to sort of change the landscape and change some of the experiences that we're going to be able to see. Give you an example, my 10-month-old now, he's probably going to be taking his first steps any day now. And to be able to capture that in 3D and then one day watch that back in an immersive way is going to be really, really powerful and really special to sort of relive. And, we're not able to sort of do that in a sort of a 3D way at the moment. And the third sort of tech driver that I think really sort of shifting what we've been doing in the marketing space and, links back to your question around sort of financial services is the change that we're seeing from blockchain-powered digital ownership and the change that that's going to be having and is having when it comes to gaming interoperability, when it comes to loyalty, and when it comes to the ability to reward and create sort of sub-communities, connecting people to like their passions and special interests. So 3 sort of tech drivers that we've been experimenting with and that we feel are still sort of here to stay to continue to sort of push those boundaries.
Yeah, we'll come back to AI. So spatial computing is interesting. So do you have a Vision Pro? Have you bought one?
No, I haven't. No, not
yet. I haven't either.
No.
I'm an Apple user.
Yeah.
Who's bought a Vision Pro here? Anybody? Nobody? Okay, what do you think? Do you rate it?
A little early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is early, isn't it? It's very heavy. Yeah, some of the experiences, the UK use case you brought up, I think, is probably the best example of recording kind of 360 immersive experiences, and you can only do that once.
Yep.
You won't get the chance again when they grow up. So I think for me that's the big thing, but I don't think it's quite there yet. Very expensive, very heavy,
very expensive.
And my kids are not on it, so that's always a good litmus test. So when you look back at the 11 years, can you give a couple of examples of things that you're really proud of? The things that really, it could be AI, it could be spatial, it could be metaverse, it could be whatever, but a couple of examples of stuff you really rate.
Yeah, sure. So I'll give a very recent example that my team have launched just last Thursday, actually. So it's called the Mastercard Artist Accelerator, and it's for emerging artists and also music fans all over the world. And I've got a video that I can share with you, and then we'll sort of talk a bit about why we're so proud of that work. So I think Ross is up there. I'm going to give him the signal, and we'll play.
Last year, we launched the Mastercard Artist Accelerator, powered by passion and purpose, and uniting emerging artists with mentors and next-level tools and tech, and helping them connect with thousands of new fans in a one-of-a-kind digital showcase of creativity and community. This year, we turn up the volume and shine an even brighter spotlight as the artists go live. This year's new Mastercard Music Pass is your key to an exclusive, immersive experience as you follow a whole new group of artists on their journey from the studio to the stage. Go behind the scenes as they create and collaborate with iconic music industry mentors. Unleash your own power and potential and make your own music with the same Gen AI virtual studio the artists use. And then be there in person as the artists take the stage on our live concert tour in partnership with Ones to Watch. So get ready for season 2 of the Mastercard Artist Accelerator, because shining a spotlight on music's next generation is priceless.
That's awesome piece of work. It's great. Well done on that. So the hard graph that goes behind all that beautiful stuff, the particularly the innovation, there's so much going on, the process and the structure, the talent, the culture. Can you talk a little bit about that at MasterCard, of how you've sort of institutionalized and scaled that and make it more systematic?
Yeah, sure. So our CMO, Raja, has always put a lot of emphasis on learning and educating ourselves, not just in our subjects, but really sort of expanding our horizons and being very sort of curious. So we have a strong sort of culture of curiosity and dedicated time to really sort of learn and, just experience new things. We go to conferences, we, attend different events, we get our teams out and we go and do completely random things, different experiences, just to see what sort of sparks creativity. And then we have some sort of formal processes in place, let's say, or formal initiatives. So my team run an innovation challenge every year. This is something that's for our entire integrated marketing communications organization. And it's a lengthy process, and it's cross-collaborating, with people from finance, people from legal, creative, brand, really sort of mixing up your teams, finding, different insights, problem statements, whatever it might be, and we leave the paper completely blank for people to come up with a real broad range of ideas. And then we go through different sort of like judging processes. We assign mentors to help them build their ideas. So we might connect them with engineers, we might connect them with data analysts to really sort of build that concept out. And then we award the reward the sort of finalist top 3. Artist Accelerator was actually from my team 2 years ago. And, when it first started, it was a one-line idea, and then it's, transformed into that. And that's because, we collaborate, we pivot when we need to, and we make, connections with relevant people inside and outside of the business, like Live Nation, for example. They're the experts in music. We're the experts in connections.
You mentioned team. Mm-hmm. So tell me about talent. Where are you finding these great individuals? And how flexible are you guys as a company in terms of remote working, number of days people are coming to the office, all those sorts of things that we're all struggling with, I think?
Yeah, sure. So Thank you for asking that question.
No, I made a note because she's looking for some talent. So if
I've
anybody wants a job,
I've actually got an open position in my innovation team. So if there's any junior rock stars, or if you know anyone, we're looking for someone really incredible. We're looking for a unicorn, as we like to call them. So, and we have in my team in particular, in global digital marketing, you're not only a technology expert, we have lots of different subject matter experts, but you've got to be an exceptional communicator, a sort of element of sort of creativity, always curiosity. So, we spend a lot of time, and we have an incredible people and capability team that really go out to different institutions, and they put on events or whatever it might be to find that talent. And then we put in place different exercises. It's so difficult, interviews alone. You shared that I'm a disability inclusion advocate. I know that the traditional interview process is not always best for bringing out and really getting to know candidates. So we have different ways of really allowing people to demonstrate their talent. So it's it's not always perfect, but then we always have opportunity for people to learn, grow, move into different roles if it's not the right fit. And we make sure that we continue to network, and we make sure that we get recommendations and referrals as well.
Awesome. There you go. If you know anybody looking for a job, send them Kerry's way. We talked about the pace of innovation, and it's exhausting. Like, I get up every morning, I've got to read, a dozen publications just to keep up on what's going on, cookies and God knows what else. How do you keep up to speed on all that? And more importantly, how do you delineate between what you think is real versus hype, where you want to experiment, where you want to scale? Some of those real fundamental questions that you get. And there's obviously in a lot of companies a natural cynicism towards some of this stuff as well. So how do you navigate all that in a sort of fact-based way, I guess, or intuition?
Yeah. So I guess many do the same, but we have a newsletter every week that we curate, and it goes out to our entire marketing team, sort of really focused on hitting news, case studies, what our teams are sort of doing around the world. That's how we sort of keep on top of it. But it is a chunk of work to be able to sift through, like you say, what is hype and what is not, and we have to have a lens of what does this mean to us as a brand and as a company, not just here's an article from Ad Age or The Verge or whatever it needs to be, and so what does this mean for us? So that's work for my team to really be thoughtful in doing. The other is I think in order to ensure that we're experimenting in the right places. We don't have an endless pot of money. We have a very lean marketing team. The ideas and the concepts that get funded, get approved, are ones that have an extremely strong insight behind them. It doesn't start with the technology, it always starts with the customer or the consumer insight, and how is that going to really sort of make a difference in people's lives and in, for our business ultimately. And I'll give you a quick example. So back in 2021, we launched Touch Card. And this is a card which has a notch at the top right. So that it can either be a notch that identifies that it's a credit, a notch that identifies a debit, or a notch that identifies prepaid. So that means anyone reaching for that card knows exactly what's in their hand. So this is, very useful in particular for people who are blind. So, that was a huge success for us. And then there was multiple marketing initiatives that came from that. So, for example, we've just launched the first feature-length film in Australia, which is just audio. And that's really sort of rooted in what do we need? What will benefit everyone, and how will it help your experience? So always value. What is the value that we can give?
You mentioned insights before, and it's been come up a couple times already today around data and the importance of data and the synchronous nature of it, and the real-time insights that you derive from it. Can you talk a little bit about Mastercard's approach to data and to insight, and the application areas like personalization, for example? Yeah,
sure. So as a company, as you can imagine, the amount of data
it's deeply worrying, actually.
that we have is huge. Our sort of ability to understand consumer preference and behavior and needs through transaction data is really telling. Obviously, on top of all of that is our very sort of stringent sort of data security, privacy, and I guess decency that sort of comes through that. But from a marketing perspective, like many other brands out here, and we're not a traditional performance e-commerce sort of company, but we're able to craft and understand our customers or prospects that are coming through to us that are wanting certain products, and then being able to give them, recommendations of other products that they might not have even realized that we have in our suite. So many might misunderstand that we are a credit card company. We're actually a payments company, but we're also a service provider, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's trends and data analysis. So we really do have a very wide breadth of products and solutions, and it's honing that data and providing that user experience that really makes it work.
Let's switch gears from that. Let's talk about partnerships and collaboration and
Sure.
the different companies that you're working with out in the industry to make all these great things happen. I'm sure big tech's in there, but it could be hopefully the likes of ITV or News Corp or ad tech companies or whoever.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would put them in three buckets. Let's start with the sort of tech and the media partners. So, of course, as you can imagine, the Metas of the world, the big media companies of the world, and the ad tech startups, for example. So we have to not only just focus on our strategic partnerships. Adobe, for example, I spend a lot of time with that team, those sort of big strategic partnerships. I've got people sort of keeping a pulse on and pushing to really sort of get access to the best possible solutions and customize that. But also all of these little ad techs that start up. So, we are constantly meeting, assessing, is there something that we could do? Is there, a potential first or something that is not out there at the moment. The second is experts. So I mentioned the work that we did with TouchCard. We worked very closely with the RNIB, the Royal National Institute for the Blind, and Envisions out in the US. So we would never create something for a group of people without going to experts in that space. It's really about a collaborative effort to design inclusively and effectively. And the third is we sponsor a lot of things. So whether it be music, sport, arts, culinary, we have the Brit Awards, we have the Golf Open, the API, we have a gaming partnership with Riot Games, League of Legends. So we have a very exciting roster of sponsorships that we collaborate with. And Live Nation, for example, like this wouldn't be possible without them. The work that we've done also in the sort of blockchain digital ownership space at the Arnold Palmer invitation, like we need those passion-based sponsorships to be able to connect with people.
You must get good tickets. I mean, honest to God. So if you want like a ticket to an event, don't talk to me, talk to her. That's great. I have no idea how much time we have. Is there a clock somewhere? But I'm assuming we're okay until someone says
good.
otherwise. What advice would you give to everybody else here when it comes to innovation?
I think there's probably 3 areas that I'm sort of keeping a very close look on and have identified sort of task force to really be responsible for making sure that we are ahead of the curve and spot opportunities first and hopefully be first to market. The first is voice. We did quite a few experiments back in 2018, 2019, probably too early. I think with the advancements in AI, we're going to sort of see this really sort of take off in the sort of coming years, whether that be, voice search or voice assistance. That would be one to sort of keep an eye on. The second is personalization and AI and what that means. There's still so much potential, I think, in this space. And I wanted to share with you, this actually has my second video, a really cool concept that we have created that is for small businesses. So Ross, if you would mind playing that video, and I'll just talk a bit about that in a sec.
A mentor is a guide, a connector, an advisor. And for too many small business owners in America, a mentor is all too hard to find. So for creators, first-time entrepreneurs, shop owners in underserved communities, and established businesses looking to expand, Mastercard is using AI to create mentorship at scale. Introducing Mastercard Small Business AI, an innovative Gen AI tool built to embrace inclusivity and be a gateway and a guide to a world of resources designed to help bridge the gap between striving and thriving. It aggregates Mastercard's small business tools, solutions, and initiatives. It collects the wisdom and experiences of successful entrepreneurs. It's fueled by a groundbreaking partnership with diverse media publishers, delivering responsibly sourced content relevant to all small business. And it channels all these insights, all this innovation, into an intuitive, personalized chatbot that answers your questions and offers you guidance just like a mentor would. To help you market your products, improve your cybersecurity, locate the best areas to open a new location, find grants you didn't know were out there, even join a community of real-world mentors. Because in small business, there is a direct connection between mentorship and success. And we want every small business to succeed. This is one more way we're connecting everyone to the priceless possibilities in life.
It's nice B2B example. You have to see the B2C stuff, that's nice to see B2B as well. One final question, then I'll open it up quickly. What excites you about what's coming up? Tell me, Web 4.0, gamification 2.0. What's coming up next?
I believe that there is some exciting opportunities, and I saw this sort of bubble up at CES for the last sort of 2 years around accessibility. and leveraging technology for good and making experiences accessible for all. So I think for me, the immersive technology combined with accessibility is what I would
It's amazing stuff at CES. Really good stuff out there. Any questions at all? Anybody? No? I think we're out of time anyway. So, all right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.